it going, boys? Here's working to bring you specifications you can relate to so you can have an educated decision on your purchases. Thank you to Zach Stuff providing this knife. So if you haven't checked out his channel, check that one out, Zach's Stuff. So he provided this knife here. This is the Benchmade Vallation. So this is actually a assisted knife with access lock for it. So it has a lock on the top of it. So if you do want to lock it out, it's not going to open in your pocket or have any worries of that. And also you can unlock it there, pop it open, and you can actually lock it in the open position as well. So it locks open as well as locks closed. So that's going to be a preference as far as what you think, as far as if that's going to be something you want or not. So that's going to be how that opens there. You see the size of the quarter there to get an idea of that. But thank you to Zach for providing this one here. So now, also see any of the previous video. I do have my my knife design that got 3D printed. So Zach also now looked at the knife too. So check out his video on the 3D print design for my design. So this one is going to be one that comes in at 4.5 ounces for the knife. This one does have basically two ways, or maybe three ways to open it. So it does have the regular thumb deployment. You also do have the middle finger deployment for it. And then you also do have, if you want to do a little bit more traditional and not have it rock it out, just to hold it and kind of guide it out. So you're going to be taking up that spring pressure to actually do that. Drop point, flat grind for it as well, all the way across. So behind the edge thickness for this one, I measured at 27 thousandths. So basically about 7 sheets of paper. So if you do have a regular printer, grab 7 sheets. That's going to be how thick it is behind the edge for that. And then also now for this one, the spring tension is almost immediate for it. So unlike some of the other assisted knives, this one, once you basically take up the lock, you do have the spring pressure right there. So that's, well, it's kind of, I personally don't like it that way. As far as that goes, it makes it where it is not something that you can one hand close. You could do. Before I actually set this one out, I did want to try it again to figure out if I could close it one-handed, and I figured out a way which is not very useful, but it is a way to do it. So you could actually do it where you basically take out the spring pressure and use your finger to curl it around. So you can do it one-handed. So I was incorrect on that. It's just not as intuitive as I would like, but you can do it. So there we go. Opinion for it. This is right hand tip up or left hand tip up. So it does work for either both sides, or if you do carry a firearm or anything like that, then that's where you can actually have that to your weak side as well. So this one has out of the pocket. So it is a standard Benchmade clip for it for deep carry. This one actually has, as far as the pressure it takes to take it out of your pocket, is about a 1 pound, 2.3 ounces. Which is actually really good. So normally about 2 pounds is kind of where it's pretty decent. I've experienced some that have up to like 5 pounds that it takes to get out of your pocket, which is not very good. Because it's just much too much tension to actually move the knife from your pocket. You're not going to lose it, but when you want it, you're going to definitely notice it when you're trying to take it out of your pocket. So the S30V for this blade steel, corrosion resistance generally is about 72 percentile. Compared to some of the other steels out there, and edge retention compared to the super steels is about 59 percentile for this one here. This one was sharpened to about 37 degrees inclusive, so about 18.5 on each side. It was pretty close to dead even, so it was basically about 40 thousandths and 44 thousandths, and then that 27 thousandths behind the edge. So that's how I got that measurement for that one. So as I was talking about, as far as some of the other assisted knives, you do have the Kershaw for this one, the Blur. So as you see on this one, basically it doesn't actually have the spring tension until it gets down to this point. So you can actually still function this one one-handed. It does have a spot where it's going to hit your thumb, so you're not going to have to worry about it getting in the way. So that's going to be kind of the Blur there. Then you also do have, like, even this is probably one of the fastest assisted knives. It does have more of a torsion bar type of setup for it, but this is from CRKT for this one here. But also one hand, you can actually close it down for that one there. So for me, for the Vallation, due to some of those things, not due to quality of it, but for my personal preference, I would avoid the Vallation, just because I don't feel that the access lock should have an assisted. For basically that reason is it's basically a one-hand deployment, which is nice, but it's a two-hand closure, which really takes away from it. So every time that I was using the knife, I would flip it open, and then I would depress the access lock like a normal one, and then I would try and close it, and then I'll remember, well, it's assisted, so okay, now I have to bring my other hand over, close it down. So it does have a positive opening for it, but also if you did lock it down when it's in your pocket, you might forget about doing that if you do need to use it in a different situation. So you might actually have a portion where you're going to have a lot less reaction time for it, because you're going to actually have to then unlock it to deploy it. So if you actually had it locked in your pocket, you took it out of your pocket to use it, then you can't use it, then you have to go back to it, unlock it, then deploy. So nothing against folks at Benchmade. I know it takes a lot to do a design for it, and a lot of people like assisted knives, but for me personally, I wouldn't go with an assisted knife for an axis, no matter probably who makes it. So that's just my personal preference for that. If you have any other questions, let me know. And let me know in the comments down below as far as what you think. And thank you again for your time.